We are at third chapter of Shrimad Bhagwat Geeta, verse 3.34, which in the previous session I have discussed. इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषो व्यवस्थितो तयोर्न वशमागच्छेत्तो यस्य परिपन्थिनो Indriyasendriyasarthe. Our senses are working or functioning on the sense objects. The various sense objects are there in our body, like eyes, nose, ears, and they are acting as per the sense objects or to stimuli. Rag, dvesh, paripanthino. So it is rag, dvesh, paripanthino. So that is attachment or our aversion is associated with it. Some sense objects we have attachment because we are getting happiness from it. However, it is also better suited. So whatever is better suited to our body, our senses are getting attached to it. However, which is not suited to us, for that we are averted. So rag dvesh paripanthino tayoh na vashma gachet to hi asya paripanthino. But we should not fall prey of attachment and aversion because these are our foes. So यहाँ पर ये कहा गया है कि इंद्रियां इंद्रियों के अर्थ में बरतती हैं और ये राग द्वेष से परिपूर्ण होते हैं। जो चीजें जो वस्तुएं हमारे शरीर के लिए हितकारी हैं, हमारी आयु के लिए, हमारे शरीर की सुरक्षा के लिए हितकारी हैं, उनमें हमें राग हो जाता है और जो अहितकर हैं उनमें हमें द्वेष हो जाता है। इसलिए ये राग और द्वेष ये हमारी साधना में हमारे पथ के बाधक हैं। साधक को इनका शिकार नहीं होना चाहिए। This we have already discussed in the previous session. The next session follows that 3.35. श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनिष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावह. So Lord Krishna says that you are telling Arjuna that you will not fight this righteous war and it is better to go some lonely place and renunciate everything and become sannyasi. But here your swadharma, what is the righteous thing for you to do is to fight war, because you are kshatriya and your dynasty, the complete dynasty, Kuru dynasty, has always fought for war. The Kuru is a king of their dynasty and these are the descendant of them. So these all comes under Kuru dynasty. So you should fight war because swadharma is always better. Like some cobbler is thinking that I can also stitch the things. However, a doctor also can stitch the things, but that doctor is getting much amount than me. We are getting few bucks. However, that doctor is getting many dollars. So let me stitch the stomach or the body parts and not these shoes. But in that case, that cobbler who is efficiently doing his work on shoes cannot perform very well on bodies. And in this way, that pardharmo bhayavaha, that means he is now abnegated, he is falling from his own position also. The Lord Krishna is emphasizing here that it is better always to perform the work which is assigned to you on the basis of dynasty or on the basis of whatever. At that time there are different varnas are there, so on basis of that you should perform your work. It is many a time seen what the father does, a son does the same business better than father. So we, from one generation to other generation, if keep on doing so, at that time things were allotted and the persons are also getting born. in that varna as per the situation. However, now we are switching over from one to other. So now this at present time, this varna situation, that is four different one, is not much matters. However, we should always perform whatever is righteous to us as per our current situation, our efficiency we should see, and also the level of spiritualism, because the level of consciousness is opening one by one. So on that basis we should select and do the work. There are also different dharma or the different righteous thing, like our uh, soul is always wanting to achieve that renunciation and ultimately want to merge with God. The body is running behind, our senses are running behind towards material objects. So we should see that there are different dharmas within our body. So mind is also having a dharma. That means it is not a constantly situated, or it cannot be stabilized. So these are the different dharmas. Our brain, it is analytical, so buddhi is analytical, it is analyzing the thing, and after that it makes the decision. So there are different dharma within our body. In the similar manner, as a gross, the complete organism, the complete human being also has a swadharma. Like the girl who is unmarried has a dharma to adopt the whatever culture and rituals of the home. However, when she goes to other house after getting married, then what are the cultures and rituals of that society, that home, is to be adopted by her. So there are the dharmas which from time to time also getting changes. But at present, Arjun is having a swadharma as a righteous war. So Sri Krishna is telling, Shreyan swadharmo, it is always better to perform swadharma. That means personal duty. Vigunah par dharmat suanushchitat, better. It is always better to perform personal duty. Vigunah par dharmat suanushchitat, then the duty executed or perfectly done of others. So your own duty is to be performed well. And then, and the comparison is that it is better than doing some others duty perfectly. So if cobbler is leaving its job, if one section of society leaving its job in the greed that they are getting more bucks, and it is more comfortable, then that duty which he has left or the section has left will not be performed by anybody, and in this way the society cannot run. So always whatever duties are assigned to you, be performed well. Swadharme nidhanam shreya par dharme bhayavaha. So swadharme nidhanam shreya. If we perform our duty and ultimately dies, it is better. So if Arjun dies after fighting righteous war, then it is better than to be monk, to go some lonely place and practice spiritualism. So that is also not the nature. By nature, Arjun was not habitual about it, though he was a higher spiritual spirit, then also that is not by habit or by body or by the different modes of satogun, rajogun, tamogun, that means mode of happiness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So Arjuna was having the mode of uh, goodness. So mode of goodness was more. Then also he has not practiced that. So by emotion, he is telling so. So Lord Krishna is advocating to stick for the righteous war. Otherwise, this righteous war, who will fight? You are now allured by some others profession. You are switching over to that. Then this righteous war, for the lot of people who are seeing towards you, who will fight this righteous war? Now, the literal meaning of this shloka is one's own duty, either it is customary or spiritually ordained, observance of different caste and sects, though defective, is superior to another duty well performed. How bold is this shloka is? If your duty is defective also, then also it is pristine. It is sacred. You should perform own duty. Then it is superior to another's duty as it was assigned to you by society. Death is better while engaged in one's own duty. Another duty is fraught with fear. So when we perform somebody's other duty, either it is not performed well because we are not habituated or we are not knowing perfectly to it, and then also it is fraught with fear. It will not make us spiritually higher. Now, in this word, dharma has been used many times, 4 times. Dharma is a word common in Hinduism. Now, it is a elusive word to translate into English language. There are many things which is used for it, like righteousness, good conduct, duty, noble duty. There are many words which is describing these. And only describe as aspect of its meaning, dharma comes from the root with dhriti. Dhriti means dharan karne yogya. So what dhriti is, the etymology from which dharma is derived, and dhriti means what we can bear. What is dharan karne yogya? So responsibility, duties, thoughts and actions that are appropriate for us comes under dhriti. What are the responsibility towards society? We cannot escape from it. Somebody, if having a responsibility, like if somebody becomes doctor, then his or her responsibility is to treat the person who are suffering from pain. So in this case, it is the responsibility for us and it becomes swadharma. Duties, you are having your moral and social duties towards family, again it is dharma. You cannot escape from your moral and social duties. Now the next thing is thoughts. So our thoughts also drive us towards a certain level or towards certain direction. So as per that also we have to act, then it becomes dharma. And there are the actions that are most appropriate to us, and those also comes under dharma. So responsibilities, duties, thoughts and actions that is most appropriate to us comes under dharma, and we should act according to it. For example, the dharma of soul is to love God. So our atman has a dharma for God. However, our body has a dharma to go for material enjoyments. Within our body, various sections are there, various levels are there, and they are having different dharma. Though we are a assembly of those different level of consciousness or elements. Now, it is the central law of our being that soul is having a natural attachment for God. So it is the dharma of soul. The swadharma is our personal dharma, which is applicable to our context, situation, maturity, and profession. So where we are, we should stick on it as per our maturity. And I have also later that is previously told that it is as per, pardon, anything. So it is our duty to perform that. It is our responsibility or duty to perform our works for society, our family, and also see that what our soul wants. Our soul ultimately wants to merge to God. This Swadharma can change our context in life changes. It is not that our Swadharma, somebody has unmuted, please mute it. So, this Swadharma can change as our context in life changes, many a time this Swadharma changes. The girl who is unmarried is to be well cultured, to get educated or something, she's getting job, whatever is, whatever their family parents desires, so that is to be adopted by the girl, uh, with in full-fledged manner. So by asking Arjun to follow Swadharma, Shri Krishna is telling him to follow his profession and not change, because someone else may be doing something else. It is more enjoyable to ourselves than to pretend to be someone else. So we cannot act, like acting is a good job, but we cannot always act. We cannot pretend to be someone else. What is our originality? We can perform it without effortlessly. We can survive in that. And if we are taking some mask or we are acting for someone else, so it is a difficult job. So we should always do as per our own ethics, own professional duties. So please unmute. Somebody has. Please mute. Somebody has unmuted. Duties of other may seem attractive from a distance, and we may think of switching towards them. But Sri Krishna is abnegating it. Please don't do this. If they conflict with our nature, they will create disharmony in our senses, mind, and intellect. So, sometimes there may be a conflict in our mind that we should do this or do that, but wherever you are placed, you should accept that situation and act according to it. You should not always think or the happiness, like if uh, if some student is thinking that it is so nice to solve, student of class 5 is thinking it is so nice and easier to solve class third questions because there are simple questions, so let us solve those questions. It is our syllabus is very hard and there are also more difficult questions, we should not solve it. Then the growth of study of that fifth standard student is hindered. So do not think that we are in such a pity condition, we are despaired, let us leave this and go to that. They are very happy. We should perform their job. It will be better. No, because such questions, the difficulties, the contrasting situations is part and parcel of our life. So they make us to grow in a natural manner. Like winter is also necessary, as the harsh sunshine is necessary for plant growth. It is not that only one kind of season is necessary. In the similar manner, for our natural growth, evolutionary growth, all the adversities are also inevitable. We should not switch over to some other dharma to leave this condition or situation. We should not escape from situation. Like Arjuna is escaping from the situation, that why should we take the responsibility or blame of killing my own family members, kith and kin. So he was escaping. He was not thinking that it is the righteous thing or his social duty to perform that righteous work. So this point dramatically by saying that it is better to die is the faithful performance of one's duty than to be unnaturally position of doing other duty. Here Sri Krishna is advocating that where you are placed, though Krishna is advocating that the uh, please mute, somebody has unmuted the
Bhaiya,
yeah
since
yeah
you're the host, you can mute them, Bhaiya.
okay
Go to the participants and mute them, Bhaiya.
okay. Now, So our next verse is the Arjun is now asking that 3.36 अथ केनं प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरितः पुरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वा शरणेय बलादिव नियोजितः. So Arjuna is asking a natural question after Lord Krishna is advocating him to do swadharma, that ath kenam prayuktoyam. So that is kenam prayuktoyam, by which somebody is getting impelled. Prayuktoyam, how the somebody is getting impelled? Papam charati. Purusha, a person commits sins. Sin, it is a sin. If we are the Lord Krishna is also saying that it is a sin if you are switching over or leaving your own professional duty or social duty. So Arjuna is asking, then why somebody is switching over to some other's duty? Why the person is getting impelled by sin? Unicchan api varshane baladiv niyojita. Unicchan, that means unwillingly. Api, that is even. Varshane, Lord Krishna was the Vrishni dynasty. The King Vishnu was very epitome of that dynasty, of which a descendant is Lord Krishna. So how the person is getting impelled to some other's duty? So Varshane baladiv niyojita. So how it is engaged by force? Lord Krishna is asking a natural question, that how somebody is impelled or forcefully indulged in somebody other's duty. Let me mute somebody. Drishyam Puneet and Jismita Yagna, you
Yes, sir. Namaste,
muted.
Guruji. Namaste, Guruji.
Okay, you are making sound. You are now muted. Okay. Now, namaste. Now, so Arjuna is asking how the persons are impelled. The literal meaning of this verse is, now then, O scion of Vrishni dynasty, the person is impelled. What does this man commit sin, even against his wish, being constrained by force, as it were? So how a person is impelled towards sin? कैसे कोई व्यक्ति पाप कर लेता है, तो इसका क्या कारण है? कैसे कोई दूसरे की धर्म की ओर चला जाता है? सो अर्जुन ये प्रश्न पूछ रहे हैं, because the Arjuna is also suffering from the same thing. So he is asking a question, how somebody is impelled. Now, the description is the Sri Krishna stated in the previous verse, that one should not come under the influence of attraction and aversion. Though it is the elements of our body, the senses, they are interacting day to day and every time with the sense objects, with the stimuli. So हमारी शरीर की इंद्रियां अपने उद्दीपकों से लगातार व्यवहार करती रहती हैं. जिन उद्दीपकों के प्रति, जैसे आंख सुंदर दृश्य देखना चाहती है, कान मधुर धुन सुनना चाहते हैं, तो ये मधुर धुन हुआ, या आंखें प्रकाश की ओर आकर्षित होती हैं, तो ये उद्दीपक हुए. जो चीजें हमारे शरीर के लिए हितकर हैं, उनमें if there is intense greed, that means intense attachment is there, then intense attachment causes greed. अगर हमें कामना होती है उन अच्छी चीजों को पाने की, लेकिन यदि कामना एक स्तर से ज्यादा हो जाए तो इसे लोभ कहते हैं, एंड दैट इज अनफुलफिल्ड अट्रैक्शन इज कॉजेज एंगर। अगर हमारी कामना फलीभूत नहीं होती तो उसको क्रोध कहते हैं, तो हमारे अंदर क्रोध और लोभ की उत्पत्ति हो जाती है। तो जब हम कोई भी चीज जो हमारे शरीर के लिए जरूरी है, हितकर है शरीर के परिचालन के लिए, सो अवर सेंसेस आर इंटरेक्टिंग विद सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट, लॉर्ड कृष्णा इज स्टेटिंग, एंड देयर इज अट्रैक्शन एंड एवर्सन। तो कुछ चीजों के प्रति हमें राग होता है और कुछ चीजों के प्रति द्वेष होता है। ऐसा पशु योनि में भी होता चला आ रहा है। वॉट एवर द एनिमल्स आर feeling, it is good for their body and it is naturally made, so it is natural and it is infested within their body by God, that what is good for them they are taking it, otherwise they are leaving it. So attraction and aversion are the natural thing in anybody's body as an element. So these are the modes. Arjun wishes to lead such a divine life but finds the advice difficult to implement. Arjun was want to lead a divine life, we also want to lead a spiritual life, but there are the situation which can't permit us to that leave our present condition or lead a divine life. So why a person is so much constrained, why a person cannot fulfill the divinity, though soul always demands it, but why somebody is not can do it? So he asked Shri Krishna a question that it is very realistic and representative of the human struggle. For everybody is true. We want to do, we want to be free, we want ultimate happiness, we want ultimate truthness, but we are unable to go for it, though we are struggling in our day-to-day life. What force prevents us from reaching to high ideal? What makes us succumb to attachment and aversion? So why we are so downtrodden to attraction and aversion? We fall prey to attraction and aversion. Why it is so? We all have a conscience that makes us feel remorseful when we are committing sin. Even most sinful person and terrorist who are also committing something, then they may be having a pinch of sin. We are also feeling, we all know that this is wrong, anger is wrong, this is wrong. So there are the many things, and ultimately we become remorseful. We later on lament, that we later on feel that remorseful why we have done. So there are the many things like stealing, swindling, libel, extortion, murder, oppression, or corruption. There are the many things which we do in our life, and ultimately we later on feel remorseful. So the conscience is grounded in the fact that God is abode of virtue, and as its fragrance we all have innate attraction for virtue and goodness. So ईश्वर गुणों का घर है और हम सब में भी उन्हीं गुणों को, अच्छे गुणों को पाने के लिए चेष्टा होती रहती है. वी ऑल आर ट्राइंग टू गेट good virtues and ultimately happiness. Goodness, that is the nature of soul gives rise to the voice of conscience. Thus we cannot make the excuse that we did not know stealing, we cannot make that we are not aware so we have stolen this thing, because ultimately everybody knows that what is sinful, something to harm anybody, to steal something, to oppress somebody, extort somebody, it is all sinful act, and it is we are ultimately being remorseful. We intuitively know these deeds to be sinful, and then also we commit such act. So if someone is some strong force impel us to do them, Arjun wants to know that what strong force is. So Arjuna is asking what is the force which is committing us to do sin. Anichham api varshane बलात् इव नियोजिता। तो अर्जुन पूछ रहा है कि बिना इच्छा के भी हे वार्षणेय, हे वृष्णि, शाखा के सदस्य, तो उनका जो डायनेस्टी थी वो वृष्णि डायनेस्टी, वृष्णि वंश के थे। तो वृष्णि वंश के वंशज, ये बताइए कि कैसे हम बलपूर्वक जो पाप युक्त कर्म है हम उनमें कैसे नियोजित हो जाते हैं। एक जबकि व्यक्ति इनसे ऊपर उठना चाहता है, आत्मा ईश्वर के पास जाना चाहती है, तो कौन हमें बलपूर्वक इन पाप युक्त कर्मों की ओर नियोजित करता है। क्योंकि अर्जुन भी उसी प्रकार से अपने धर्म के पद से च्युत हो रहा था, हट रहा था। तो ये पूछना चाहता है ये क्या चीज है कि मैं भी अच्छा बनना चाहता हूं, कि अच्छी स्पिरिचुअल आध्यात्मिक उन्नति को प्राप्त करना चाहता हूं, और फिर भी कोई चीज मुझे बलात् अपने धर्म को करने से रोक रही है। और कर्म योग तो आपने बता ही दिया है कि एक महान योग है, हमें कर्म करना चाहिए। लेकिन ऐसी क्या चीज है जो मुझे रोक रही है। और बहुत लोगों को, हम सब के लिए भी कहा गया है कि कोई चीज ऐसी है जो हमको रोकती है अपने नियुक्त कर्म, जो हमें जहां रखा गया है, जिन परिस्थितियों में रखा गया है, जो करने को कहा गया है, हम वो न करके कुछ और करना चाहते हैं। तो हम अपनी वर्तमान परिस्थिति से संतुष्ट नहीं होते। इस प्रकार से हम अपने स्वधर्म से हट जाते हैं, च्युत हो जाते हैं। तो क्या चीज है जो हमें अपने स्वधर्म को निभाने नहीं देती, करने नहीं देती। तो वो कौन सा बल है, इसके बारे में अर्जुन ने श्री कृष्ण से 3.36 श्लोक में प्रश्न किया। नाउ 3.37 वर्ष। श्री भगवान वाच कामयेश क्रोधयेश रजो गुण समुद्भवा महाशनो महापापना विद्येनमिह वैरिणम। काम एश क्रोध एश, सो दैट इज काम एश क्रोध एश रजोगुण समुद्भवा, दैट इज द डिजायर and the wrath, that means the anger. Rajogun samudbhava, both are samudbhava, born of passion. So these are born of passion. There are three modes. That is tamogun, that is the mode of ignorance. Rajogun, mode of passion. Satogun, mode of goodness. So passion means for bodily pleasure, all kind of bodily pleasure, either it is carnal pleasure, either it is material world pleasure, or it is the material attached to our senses, because through these senses we get the worldly pleasure, which is ephemeral. Then also we are going for it. And it is a very natural manner, because we want ultimate happiness. But if our soul is attached with the body, then we ultimately want happiness from these objects. So that is काम क्रोध रजोगुण samudbhava. So calm and क्रोध, that is desire, and क्रोध anger. So that is desire and anger are taking birth from रजोगुण, that is mode of passion. रजोगुण जो शरीर में हम आनंद प्राप्त करना चाहते हैं, अच्छा सोकर, अच्छा खाकर और बिना काम किए, इस प्रकार से राजा की जिंदगी जो जीना चाहते हैं, वो रजोगुण है। सो इस प्रकार से हम सांसारिक वस्तुओं से आनंद और भोग विलास प्राप्त करना चाहते हैं, और काम और क्रोध इसी रजोगुण से उत्पन्न होते हैं। नाउ देयर आर टू थिंग्स, व्हेन जब हमारे अंदर इन चीजों को पाने की कामना होती है, यदि कामना अधिक बढ़ जाती है, एक सीमा से अधिक, तो ये लोभ बन जाता है। सो एक्सेसिव डिजायर इज ग्रीड, हाउएवर अनफेल्ड, which is unfulfilled desire, which is not fulfilled, unfulfilled desire, that results in anger. So these are coming out, these are getting birth from rajogun or mode of passion. Mahashano mahapapna, So these are all devouring and Mahapapna greatly sinful. So these are deviating us from the path of the spiritual. So spiritualism. So these are Mahashano, Mahapapna, Vidya, Enam, Ihvarinam. These are the two enemies. Just know that these are the two enemies. यही दोनों हमारे वैरी हैं. इसलिए हमको जो शरीर इंद्रियां अगर इंद्रियों में बरत रही हैं तो ये इनका काम है, शरीर यात्रा के लिए कर रही हैं. हमें इनमें सम्मोहित नहीं होना है, राग द्वेष से युक्त रहना है. इनमें न राग रखनी है न द्वेष रखना है. जीवन में जो कष्ट भी आते हैं तो वो हमको आगे बढ़ाने के लिए आते हैं. 5वीं कक्षा के बच्चों को तीसरे की किताब के प्रति लालच नहीं करनी है कि उसको जीवन में अच्छा मिल रहा है, सब कुछ हम भी वैसे बन जाए. जो परिस्थिति है उसको स्वीकार करना है और उसके अनुसार उसमें पूरे लगन के साथ काम करना है. यही स्वधर्म. जो परिस्थितियां भगवान दे रहे हैं, भगवान स्वधर्म खुद ही देते हैं. परिस्थितियां खुद ही जीवन में आती हैं, बस उसी में रत रहना. उनमें सिलेबस आपको जो दिया जाता है, जो आपकी क्लास और स्टैंडर्ड है, वो टीचर वो बहुत जानते हैं कि तुम किस कक्षा के योग्य हो. वहीं तुमको रखा गया है और वहीं पर उसको छोड़ नहीं देना है. वहीं पर रहते हुए बड़े मन से तन से, यही कर्म योग है, ये हमारे गृहस्थ का योग है. यही स्वामी जी की शिक्षा है. ये विलक्षण शिक्षा है जो स्वामी जी ने बताई. Now, O blessed Lord said, this desire, this anger, born of guna of rajas, is the great devourer, a great sinner. Know this to be enemy here. The word use calm or lust, not only the sexual desire, but also includes all desire of enjoyment based of bodily concept of self. So it is lust. Shows lust means desire, excessive desire for anything is called lust. So that is urge for money, physical craving, craving for prestige, drive for power. These are all coming under lust. So this lust is only a perverted reflection of love for God. So our soul is always having affinity for God. However, when it is diverted, then this energy is now diverted to our bodily pleasure, so it is a aversion. So जब हमारी आत्मा जिसका की नैसर्गिक झुकाव ईश्वर के प्रति है, उसकी ऊर्जा शरीर की ओर लग जाती है, तो वो सांसारिक सुख भोगों में लिप्त हो जाती है और इस प्रकार से हमारे अंदर राग हो जाता है. एक प्रकार का जुड़ाव है, लेकिन जब जुड़ाव बहुत अधिक हो जाता है, चाहे सत्ता के लिए, शक्ति के लिए या सुख के लिए, तो इस प्रकार से, या शारीरिक सुख के लिए या धन के लिए, तो फिर वो राग में बदल जाता है. ऐसी मेरी बुद्धि भगवान, काम को पौरुष, तेज क्रोध को, लोभ को संचय, तर्क को ज्ञान, दीन दुखी पर करे क्रूरता, दया धर्म का करे बखान. ऐसी मेरी बुद्धि भगवान. So at certain times our intellect also is falling prey, becomes a slave of our mental consciousness. So logical consciousness जो है बौद्धिक चेतना, मानसिक चेतना की गुलाम बन जाती है. And in this manner it is also chasing for the material happiness. So such condition is the lust, which is the inherent nature of every living being, that when the soul associates with material energy in form of body, the divine love for God is transformed into lust. So our soul, हमारी आत्मा जब इनकी ओर प्रवृत्त हो जाती है शारीरिक सुखों के प्रति, तो ये लस्ट हो जाता है, राग हो जाता है. इन एसोसिएशन विद मोड ऑफ पैशन, जो रजोगुण के वशीभूत होकर होता है, शरीर शारीरिक आनंद के लिए होता है. सिंस डिवाइन लव इज द हाईएस्ट पावर ऑफ गॉड, इट्स परवर्जन इन द मटेरियल रीम which is lust is also most powerful force. So divine love, जो भगवती प्रेम है, जो हमारे अंदर होना चाहिए, जब उसकी ओर, वो सबसे शक्तिशाली है. लेकिन जब वही इसकी ओर प्रवृत्त हो जाएगा तो भी ये काफी बलवान हो जाता है, क्योंकि ऊर्जा तो वही है, चाहे वो अंतर्मुखी हो या बहिर्मुखी। बहिर्मुखी होगी तो क्षणभंगुर होगी, अंतर्मुखी होगी तो वो हमें आध्यात्मिक पथ पर आगे ले जाने वाली होगी। बहिर्मुखी होने पर भी आगे ले जाएगी, क्योंकि ऐसी कोई घटना नहीं है जो हमें आगे न बढ़ाए, लेकिन जो हमारा खुद का प्रयास है अंतर्मुखी होने पे वो कई गुना बढ़ जाता है। तो इस तरीके से साधक को सचेत और सचेष्ट रहना चाहिए, और इस प्रकार से वो अपनी आध्यात्मिक यात्रा के पथ को कई गुना बढ़ा लेता है, क्योंकि ये जो मौका है, ये गुरु हैं, ये बार बार इस प्रकार से नहीं मिलते, और इस प्रकार का सत्संग और ज्ञान भी नहीं मिलता। तो हमें साधक को चेष्टा करते रहने चाहिए और परिस्थितियों को हर प्रकार से स्वीकार कर लेना चाहिए। Now, Sri Krishna identifies this lust for worldly enjoyment as cause of sin, as the malignant allure sitting within us. So, Sri Krishna identifies this lust for whatever is our attachment for material objects, and we want to get happiness through them. It is only lust. The mode of passion deludes the soul into believing that worldly object will give satisfaction. So one creates desire for acquiring them. When desire is satisfied, it gives birth to greed. So when desire is satisfied, then one desire, then the next desire, and ultimately if get satisfied, then it promotes, it gives birth to greed. So it is the greed is intensified desire only. अतिरेक कामना ही लोभ है, और कामना का पूर्ण न होना ही क्रोध है। ध्याय तो विषयान पुंसा संग अस्तेषु उपजायते, संगात संजायते कामः, कामात् क्रोधो विजायते, क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः, सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमा, स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो, बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति। ध्याय तो विषयान पुंसा, जब हम विषयों का चिंतन करते हैं, सो ध्याय तो विषयान पुंसा संग, उनमें हमारा संग उत्पन्न हो जाता है, आसक्ति। विषयों के बारे में सोचते रहो कितना अच्छा गुलाब जामुन था, तो आसक्ति उत्पन्न हो जाती है। संगात संजायते कामा, अगर आसक्ति के उत्पन्न होने से उस गुलाब जामुन को पाने की कामना उत्पन्न हो जाती है। कामात क्रोधो विजायते, कामना के पूर्ण न होने पर क्रोध की उत्पत्ति होती है। क्रोधात भवति सम्मोह, जब हम क्रोध में होते हैं तो सही गलत का विचार नहीं कर पाते, इससे सम्मोह उत्पन्न होता है। क्रोधात भवति सम्मोह, सम्मोहात स्मृति विभ्रमा, स्मृति इससे विभ्रमित हो जाती है सम्मोह से। स्मृति भ्रंशात बुद्धिनाशो, और इस प्रकार से बुद्धि के भ्रमित होने से बुद्धि का विनाश हो जाता है। बुद्धि नाशात प्रणश्यति, बुद्धि के विनाश होने से मनुष्य का ही पतन हो जाता है। सो सभी चीजों में कामना को ही प्रमुखता दी गई है कि कामना ही इसकी जड़ में है। सो ग्रीड इज नथिंग बट intensified desire, while anger is frustrated desire. Shri Krishna labels lust or desire as root of all evil. So it is root of all evil. Now my beloved sister Pooja will recite a bhajan for us.
पंडित प्रताप नारायण मिश्र की एक प्रार्थना है, उसको आज हम मनन करेंगे। पिता तु सहायक स्वामी सखा, तुम ही एक नाथ हमारे हो, जिनके कछु और आधार नहीं, तिनके तुम ही रखवारे हो। सब भांति सदा सुखदायक हो, दुख दुर्गुण नाशक हारे हो। प्रतिपाल करो सिगरे जग को, अतिशय करुणा धारे हो। भूलिए हम ही तुमको, तुम तो हमारी सुदिना ही बिसारे हो। उपकारन के कछु अंत नहीं, कि नहीं बिन यूं किस्तारे हो। महाराज महामहिमा तुम्हारी, समझे बिरले बुधिवारे हो। सुख शांति निकेतन प्रेम निधे, मन मंदिर के या हो। यही जीवन के तुम जीवन हो, इन प्राण के तुम प्यारे हो। तुम सो प्रभु पाय प्रताप हरि, के अब और सहारे हो। पितु मातु सहायक स्वामी सखा, तुम ही एक नाथ हमारे हो। श्री राम। राम राम सबको।
श्री राम। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुर्भाग् भवेत्। न तोऽहं कामये राज्यं न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवम्, कामये दुःखतप्तानां प्राणिनामार्तनाशनम्। त्वदिष्टं भवतु गोविन्द, त्वदिष्टं भवतु गोविन्द, नतमदिष्टं पाहि मां रक्ष मां। तेरी इच्छा पूर्ण हो माँ, हम सब तेरी शरण में हैं, अपने चरणों की भक्ति दो। If anybody is having any question, then can put forward. राम राम मौसी।
राम 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 प्यारा प्यारा आशीर्वाद। राम राम पूजा। राम राम
बहुत राम राम
राम
सभी को राम राम दीदी राम राम।
प्रिया दीदी चरण स्पर्श।
राम राम दीदी चरण स्पर्श।
Puneet, any question from your side?
Bhaiya, you asked something, Bhaiya? Repeat it, Bhaiya.
Somebody is having any question that then may put. Jismita, any question?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for the wonderful discourse. And thank you, Pooja ji, for the beautiful bhajan. And thank you all for joining today. Thank you all the little ones who joined. Thank you.
राम राम बेटा शिव कुमार
राम।
भैया राम राम।
राम
बेटा
राम
सबको राम राम, बच्चों को छोटे बच्चों को भी राम राम।
राम।